Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lamasbella, and in this video, as you've probably already read the title of this video below, we created today's look using only, and I mean only the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Master Collection brush set. Oh my god, when I say only, I actually mean this is all we used. And when I say this is all we used, I mean we did not use a beauty blender for this look today. Isn't that insane? So when I first sat down to make this video, I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time. I had just purchased this master collection, and it was $165, and supposedly it has a value of $264. But anyway, when I first purchased it, I was like, I really want to make sure I'm getting the most out of my money, and I want to make sure that I can create an entire look using nothing but these brush sets. And today I sat down and I finally filmed this video. When I was going through that and I was like, I can't use my beauty blender, I was like, holy shit. This look is not going to come out good. Maybe I shouldn't do it. I wanted to cancel this whole video. But the good thing was that I didn't cancel it. I kept going. I just made things work. I tried to just make do with what I didn't want to use, which was my beauty blender. I can't stress this enough. When I tell you I use my beauty blender so much, I rely on this little egg so much. I kid you not, I cannot believe we were able to create this look using just brushes. Like I said, I was 1000% sure that this look was not going to come out looking just like this when I completed the look, because I was like, there's no way. So I say all of that to say, this brush set is worth it. It's absolutely a master collection. If you haven't gotten this brush set, I highly recommend you get it. It's really great. I learned to love all the brushes. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Now, if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Lamasbella, and I'm so thankful you've come across my channel. I really hope you'll stick around to subscribe.
Hey baby girl, roll down your window. I love to see your hair flow when the wind blows. Even if the money been slow, hey, to you it don't matter, cause you still gon' ride with me. You still gon' ride with me. I say you still gon' ride with me.
So of course, as always, I'm starting off with a clean face. There's no products on my skin right now whatsoever. I'm gonna start off by putting some moisturizer on my lips. I use this Vaseline Creme Brûlée Lip Therapy. It's so good. I love it so much. And when I put it right in the beginning, by the time I'm ready to do my lips and stuff, they're so smooth and so soft. So my biggest recommendation is if you do want some like lip therapy or anything to moisturize the lips, I recommend doing it right before you start doing your whole face. I don't know about you, but I take about an hour to do my face. So by the time I'm ready to do my lips, they're so smooth and they're so soft. So I'm going to start off by prepping the skin. I'm going to go in with the Caudalie Beauty Elixir Smooth Glowing Complexion Prep Spray. I love this spray so much. I try to preserve it as much as I can. I only use it when like I know that I'm going to like special occasions. It's not really for like daily makeup stuff, but it's one of my absolute favorites. It just makes my skin really glow, like actually glow, before I even put any type of foundation or highlighter on. Okay, so now once that has dried on my skin, I'm going to go in with the Yves Saint Laurent, the Blur Primer. I love this. It also has a little bit of gold shimmer in it. This is one of my favorite primers. When I first started using it, I actually thought it was a little too oily, but I realized that I was using just a little bit too much on my skin, which caused my skin to kind of like break out a little bit. But after I realized that a little bit goes a long way, I literally just do like a pea size now on my hand, and then I apply it on my skin. And the finish is just like amazing. It also makes my skin so soft and so smooth after I've applied it. I'm like, it makes me excited to put on foundation. Okay, so unfortunately my skin is not perfect. I do have a little bit of discoloration around my lip area, and of course I have bags under my eyes, like who doesn't? So I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of color corrector. I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Shapeshifter, and I'm using the cream side here, this color. and I'm just going to apply it under my eyes and around my lip area. So this is one of my favorite color correctors because it dries really, really matte. And if you watch any of my makeup videos, you know that the matte look is always my kind of look. I'm not really that dewy kind of look person. I don't like a dewy face. I don't like dewy looking skin. Specifically because my skin is already really super oily, I always try to stay away from anything that's going to make my skin look dewy. Okay, so for this part, I would typically go in with my beauty blender and blend all of this out so it looks really seamless, but because we're using nothing but the Jaclyn Hill brush set brushes, I'm going to go in with the JH08, which is her Anything Creamy brush, so I'm assuming this will do the trick since this is a creamy texture, and I'm just going to blend this all out. Okay, so I feel like this brush absorbed a lot of the product already, which is the reason why I like to use a beauty blender, so I can keep as much product on my face as possible. But who knows, maybe I applied too much and maybe this will help make it look more seamless. I'm not downplaying it quite yet, but as you can see, there's already like so much product on the brush. Okay, so we're just gonna keep it moving. The next step in my makeup routine is foundation. Today I'm gonna be going in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I'm using it in the shade Praline, P-R-A-L-I-N-E, Praline. I'm gonna say it's Praline. Maybe it's Praline. Anyway, I'll be sure to put it in the description below. So, like I said before, typically my foundation, I use my beauty blender because my beauty blender has never failed me. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be going in with the Jaclyn Hill 03, and this is her Ride or Die foundation brush. So because I don't typically use brushes to apply my foundation, I'm not going to be putting the product directly on the brush. I'm just going to be putting it on my hand here, just a little bit. One pump is all that I typically need. I'm going to go ahead and dab it on my face where I want my coverage. I'm really curious to see how it's going to look when it's blended with the brush. I'm not going to say that I've never done it. I've obviously done it before. I've been doing makeup for like the last 2 years, so I know that I've done it one point in my life, but it's not my ideal method and it's not typically what I like to do. So it's somewhat foreign to me. The brush is really soft. I think it's really soft and I think it looks really cute, but let's see if it does the trick. So I think this blended out really, really nice. I just have a natural habit of like wanting to grab my beauty blender, but I put it in my drawer so I don't have to look at it anymore. I don't want to manipulate the product on my skin too much because I can already tell that, you know, a lot of product has been absorbed. Luckily, I've only used one pump still. I honestly thought I would have to go back in and use like maybe half a pump more, only because I know that the brush absorbs a lot of the product. So I'm just going to stop messing with my face in 5 seconds. Okay, I gotta count it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, I have to leave it alone. I have to leave it alone. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Okay, so now that my foundation is on, I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I'm gonna be using the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the shade medium, and I'm just gonna be applying it right under the eye. I like to put it in a little portion, like right in the inner corner of the eye, and then blend it out with my beauty blender or a brush. Okay, so once again, Jaclyn does not have a concealer brush. However, her Anything Creamy brush, the JH08, has pretty much the same consistency as this Sephora brush, and this is an airbrush concealer brush. So if you notice, the texture is just about the same. The only thing is this one's just a little bit wider. I'm going to go ahead and use this one. her Jaclyn Hill JH08, which is her Anything Creamy. I did use this earlier for the color corrector, so I'm just gonna brush it on through. I really do wish that she had a concealer brush in her brush set, but if you watch Jaclyn Hill, she always blends out her concealer with her beauty blender, well, with her Morphe beauty blender. It actually is blending pretty airbrush. Okay, so as I mentioned before, these are not just specific to Jaclyn Hill brushes or Morphe brushes. This is pretty much any brush, even real hair brush, like goat hair brushes, absorb a lot of product. So I'm gonna try not to manipulate the product on my skin too much because I don't want too much product going from my skin onto the brush. I do want to keep as much product on my skin as I can as possible, so I'm gonna stop here in a minute. You don't understand, I'm trying so hard not to grab my beauty blender and just dab it on my face a little bit because I just want to press all the product in and just make sure it looks all seamless. But I'm not gonna do it. It's so hard though. We're just creatures of habit. I mean, it's just what I've been doing for so long, so to like deviate from that, it's tougher than I thought it would be. Okay, so now we're ready to set the under eyes and start baking this face. For this step, I'm going to be going in with the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, and I'm going to be using the JH07, which is Jaclyn Hill's Under Eye Powder Brush. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's definitely powder flying all over the place. Typically I do this step using the Rihanna Beauty Blender because it has like that sharp edge and I use it to like set the face. But I'm definitely using a lot more powder than I usually would for this step. And it's absolutely because I'm using a brush, but I'm not upset about it. Hopefully it'll all come out seamless. As long as the end result comes out flawless and gorgeous and beautiful, I'm not upset about the amount of product that I have to use and the techniques and methods that I'm using. Okay, so we're just gonna let that sit and bake while we do our eye makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by shaping out my brows. As you can see, my brows are pretty full already. I just like to add a little bit of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade, and I'm also using her little brush as well. I just like to fill in any kind of gaps that I have and just make it look a little bit more defined. Okay, so now that we're done with the eyebrows, I'm going to start prepping my lids so I can start applying color on them. The way that I do this, and I learned this trick from Jaclyn Hill too, I'm going to start off by applying just like a base powder, and I'm going in with the Lyric shade in the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. Once again, I'm just applying this powder and there's no color to this. I'm just applying this all over the eyelids, just making sure it's no longer sticky, so then when we do start applying color, it's going to be able to blend very seamless. For this step, I'm using the JH30, which is Jaclyn Hill's Beast Mode Blender. Okay, you guys, the lids are ready. They're nice and soft and smooth, and they're ready to have color on them. For today's eye look, I'm going to be going in with the new Morphe 35G Bronze Gold Eyeshadow Palette. I bought this eyeshadow palette about a week ago, and I'm still so in love with it. I love it so much. I'm definitely a bronze girl. People always make fun of Jaclyn Hill for always doing like the bronze, the neutral tones, the cool tones, the browns, these nude colors, beiges, whatever for her eyelid, but I don't care. They're one of my favorites, so we're going to be going in with this palette today. Okay, so I'm going to start off by going in with this color here from the palette. It's called Sandy, and I'm just going to be applying this all over my lid using the JH32 Transition Blender Brush. Once again, this is just the beginning. It's just the transition color, so it's not going to be giving off too much color, but you will be able to notice the difference. Okay, so now that my transition color is all over my eyelids, I'm going to go in with this second color right here. It's called Nekked, like naked, but with an E, so it's like Nekked. And I'm going to be going in with the JH34, which is Jaclyn Hill's Carve Your Crease Brush. So for this second color here, I'm going to be focusing the color on the edge of my eyelid, and then I'm going to be doing exactly what the brush is intended to do, which is to carve out my crease, and I'm just going to be brushing that color, whatever's left on the brush, into the inner corner of my eye, just really defining that crease there. Okay, so once I'm done applying that second color to the lid, I'm going to go back using the JH32, which is the brush that I use for my transition color. And I'm just going to make sure I've blended all of this out. I did not go back in the pan and pick up more color. I'm just literally using what's left on the brush, what was left on the brush from when I initially put in the transition color, and I'm just making sure it all blends out nice and seamless. Okay, so now we're ready to move on with our third color. We're going to be going in with the shade Tan Up from the Morphe 35G Bronze Goals palette. We're going to be using the JH40 brush, which is Jaclyn Hill's Precise Blender brush. And the reason I'm using this brush is because this is the darkest shade that we're going to be putting on our lid, and I just want to make sure I'm focusing most of the color right at the end corner of the lids. For today's lid color, I'm going to be going in using the JH41, which is Jaclyn Hill's All Over Lid brush. Looks like this. I'm going to be going in with the color Triple Digit. It's this one right here, and it's from that same 35G Bronze Goals palette by Morphe. I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush a little bit using the MAC 6 Plus. I'm just not getting the color payout that I really want. Better. Oh my gosh, way better. Okay, so I went ahead and finished the eye color. I also added a wing liner here. Before we move on to the bottom of the eye, I'm going to just go ahead in with the JH7 just to go ahead and remove all of that baking powder that I put on. Okay, so now that my face doesn't look like a total ghost anymore, we're going to finish off this eye look. We're going to apply some definition to the under eye. I'm going to be going in with the JH38, which is Jaclyn Hill's pencil liner brush. We're going to be using a combination of these two colors from the same 35G Bronze Gold palette. This is going to be Heat Wave and Burnt. And then just going right there at the bottom. I mean, I hate the face that I make just because I'm trying to get so close to the waterline, but I love the finishing look. It's just totally worth it. Finally, with that same brush, I'm going to be going in with the color Nekked, which is the second color that we used for the eyelid. And I'm just going to put it right there along with it. This is just going to warm up the eye just a little bit more and just add that much more definition. Okay, so now I'm ready to bronze this face up. I'm going to be going in using the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Matte Bronzer. I love this bronzer. It's one of my favorites, and it just smells so rich and so nice. So I'm going to be going in using the JH05, which is the Jaclyn Hill Contour Brush. I actually scratched all of that because she has a bronzer brush, which is called My Bronzer Brush, which is her JH02. I'm a little nervous trying this. This is a way bigger brush than I typically use for my contour. I mean, my bronzer, sorry. So we'll just see how this looks. I'm just going to start right here at the cheekbone and then go all the way down. This is so crazy. I've never, ever used a brush this big and this wide to apply my bronzer, and it's like so great. It looks so seamless. It looks so airbrushed on there. This is definitely going to be my go-to brush for bronzer now. For my nose contour, I'm going to be going in with the KKW Powder Contour and Highlight Kit. This is the medium shaded kit. I'm going to be going in with the JH33, which is Jaclyn Hill's Universal Blender. I'm going to be using this shade right here, which is the Contour 1 shade. So this color right here, any red tone, is going to give me the most precise, most natural, in-depth look when it comes to contours. So I'm still not done with my eyes. I know what you guys are thinking, like, oh my god, you're still not done with your eyes. No, I'm still not done with my eyes, but I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my look, which means just applying my lip color as well as my highlighter, and then we will finish off the eye look with some eyeliner and mascara and falsies. For highlight today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Resi highlighter. Who doesn't love this highlighter? Like, when I first tried this highlighter, I was like, oh my god, I need this highlighter in my life. So we're going to be using this today. It's one of my favorites and one of my go-tos for sure. To apply this, I'm going to be using the JH09 brush from the Jaclyn Hill brush set, and this is her highlighting brush. So I'm just going to be applying these on the cheekbones here. On the nose, Cupid's bow. With that same highlighter, I'm going to be going in with a JH42 brush and then just applying a highlighter right above the brow bone. For my lips today, I want to do like a nude kind of look. I know you guys are probably like, oh my god, you're so boring, Yuri, but I don't care. I love the way that it looks. I'm going to be going in with the NYX lip liner. This is in the color Free Spirit, and I'm just going to be lining my lips. Next, I'm going to be going in with this Maybelline lipstick. I know, drugstore, right? It's crazy. It's called Nude Embrace. The color is 650 and it's a matte finish. This shade is actually just a little bit lighter than the lip liner, but I think that's perfect because it adds that like ombre effect that I love. I'm going to finish my eye look off by adding some mascara to my lower lash line. For lashes today, I'm going to be putting on the Huda Beauty lashes in the style Scarlet. Okay, so now that I've applied everything and we've come to the end, I'm going to go ahead and set all of this with the Morphe setting spray. I love the way this spray just, oh my god. It smells really, really good, and it just feels so like fresh on my face. I don't know how I was like doing my makeup without this. Okay, so this is her. This is the final look. So I promise it's the last time I'm going to express how shook I am that we were able to create this look using just the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe Master Collection brush set. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Now, if you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Lamasbella, and I'm so thankful you've come across my channel. I really hope you'll stick around and subscribe. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in my next one.